Tuesday morning when we unfolded all of these panels, the physical reality of the loss and the grief and the respect and the joy of these people became too close. It overwhelmed me. And I spent the next few days as we were setting up the display and opening the display and staffing it, feeling extremely grief-stricken and overcome. And after 3 or 4 or 5 days of being closely entwined with this exhibit on the display, I finally reached a point where I can truly concentrate on the love and the respect, the celebration of these people's lives. Almost every one of the panels is my favorite panel. I'm sure that would be the case if I saw every, but one panel that especially touches me more so than the ones commemorating the children or the ones commemorating those who died alone or those made by mothers or, for whatever reason, was a panel created in the memory of Danny Bird, who was approximately my age when he died. There's no tremendous focus on the loss or the unreached potential, but instead it really clearly demonstrates that this man had a wicked sense of humor.
Over there for Jeff Miller, Mike.
Well, do you have a variety of responses in yourself?
Another one I'm going to try to sing tonight.
I do have a microphone.
Yellow, right here. Good. Oh, I found it.
So the quilt will get unfolded very quickly. Okay? The first group. And go and stand and wait until you're doing this call. Ultimately, write a square dance. Here we go. Jim Peter, the captain to the encounter. Joel Reed. Aaron John Miller. Thomas R. H. Carroll. Bob Meadows. Howard Singer, Scott Stanton, Richard Donovan, Joel Reed, Timothy Smithwick, Mick Wall, and they're again, the next two groups should go. Mike Appley, Michael Boyd, Jerry Johnson, David R. Thompson, Thomas H. Carroll. William Bill Clyde, Robert Scott, David Tibbetts, Mark Zielsdorf, Louis Cisneros, Lee Dustin, Don Ryder. Okay. EYE people, you will read in that mic. They'll say, Maggie will say, Virginia Price, and Virginia, you started reading down. Why don't you read down the first column and I'll read the second column. When you get done, bishop will say, Brian Spellman, and I will start reading. If you haven't checked in now, check in immediately after we get done reading. Okay. I think that will be okay at this point. I don't know that we have time for you to check in now. We cheers.
walk in and around and among the quilts. There are some rules of convention, however, which are
William B. Connors, Robert Scotty Scott, John Brower, Don Schott, Jeff Adams, Richard C., Bill K., Jonathan S., Robert, Frank Drummond, Chuck Marsh, Douglas Porcaro, John Chapman, Dennis Ryan, Michael Bridges, John E. Morgan, Jeff A., Tony B., Richard Prosick, and Jerry S.
Leslie Burgess,
Phil, David Dean, Stephen Johnson, Terry Cole, Paul Maryland, Mark Brown, Jerry Adams, Frankie, David B., Bo Ed, Alice Hughes, our Mike, Doug, Jeff Hardcastle, Mundo Beza, Michael Sordo. Catherine Branson, David Mandel Jr., Stuart Gudenthal, David Reno Gannon, Danny Burr, Joe Taggart, Tony Ramirez, Andrew Hyatt, Mark Daniel Duty, Don Bush, Rick Adams, Louis Maldonado, Charles Lee, Wade Hoos, Paul Harrell, Stephen Walter, Michael Urchin Harvey, Bob Farrell, Paul Baker, and a friend David.
William Pratt, Al Emery, Michael Gillen, Tim Lujan, John Walters, Bo Harris, David Lee Johnson, Don Mackert, Craig Motley, Al Bjorn, Bill Clark, Lee Hendricks, John Michael Lear, Mark Riley, Jack Lynn Stowers, Earl Ellis, Wilson Gilliam, David Wayne Lilly, Jesse Robert Billy Powers, and my Montana friend
Sometimes I feel like I'm empowered, but I'm frustrated because it's like feeling overwhelmed by all of it and wanting to do more than I feel like I can do as an individual and being frustrated with that. Some of the panels I read, I cannot believe how young everybody is. That's another one. That's one that really hits me though. And the big 4x4 thing they have on the names project with all the signatures and things on it, sometimes that gets to me more than the panels, because I think a lot of people that ended up signing that, they don't know anybody who's died of AIDS, but it's like the quilt really provoked a lot of things they'd never thought about before. Being here opening night was incredible because all the high school kids that were here for the youth conference were down on the quilt, and I would say a good 70% of them were in tears. And it was just dead silent. It was probably one of the most powerful emotional experiences I've ever had.
And his special friend, John Caluco.
Rudy Roseland, Ted C. Gallagher, and Paul Malone.
Robert Christopher Jeffrey Edholm. Daniel Peter Stevens. Boo-hoo.
A2 begin. A1 will then proceed now to C1.
Charlie Brown, Carrie, Charles, Fred, David John Elton Weiler, Donald Ray Swayze, Jimmy Frank, Woody Charles, North Buzz Eagle, Roland Marcotte, Jack Mevrell, J. Gale, Patrick R. Wolfer, Richard Thomas, Sandy Metzger, Gerard Wagner, Bob Koenig, Steve Agash, Alan Gilholm, Anthony Fornatero, Robert K. Ward Jr., Rudy Roseland, Ted C. Gallagher, and Paul Malone.
Going through the quilt, it was chance to come face to face with panels that were made in memory of people whom I had known, who lived in Missoula at one time. One of those panels was in memory of David Eggenweiler, who is one of the principal players, developers, originators out in Montana, who developed a newsletter, a statewide gay and lesbian newsletter, a wonderful human being, tremendous young man. And I knew his lovers, Rich and Christopher. Well, I knew Rich, I didn't know Christopher, but wonderful person. Lived in Missoula many years, contributed a lot to our community, and we do miss him.
And I like this one too. And then the one with the wolves on it, about the wolves. And then there's one, a corner block for a guy named David Thompson.
They're basically, quit that hugging, if you must.
Are we in a hurry?
We're trying to get things done here. Camera's over here. All right. There are 3 basic tasks that have to be done before we leave this building. The first one is the quilt has to be folded. And that requires, because somebody, the quilt has to be, take your shoes off. The quilt has to be folded. I will show you how to do that in just a minute. The walkways will have to be rolled, and the merchandise will have to be packed. In addition, I will need, do we have any host committee members here? Dan? You're already signed up. Okay, you two will need to go over to the money changing area. Dan, you put your shoes back on. You two go over to money.
No hugging, no bare feet.
That's right. You guys go over to the money changing area to count money. The rest of you, folding panels is really important at this time that it be done correctly. The first thing, and I've got Marion and Denise are out there cutting because we only have 2 sets of cutters. We're getting cheap in our old age. Once this panel's unfolded, what you do is you go from the top, and there's always a top to a panel, and you fold it down all the way. Sort of fluff it to make sure that it's even. Fold it down again. And then you're going to fold it in quarters. 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters. We used to have to tell you left to right and up and down. It's crazy. But we've got them on all the corners now, so just make sure a number is showing. That's essential for both panel checkout from here and panel check-in when they arrive back in San Francisco. Those numbers are how we keep track of the quilt, which is something like 59 12 by 12s. So, yeah, 59 12 by 12s. So once you've folded a 12 by 12, it's got to go in one of the 11 boxes. Now, any of you that are as good at math as I am will figure out that's a little more than 5 to a box. Okay? Everybody try to have that principle. They'll put you on walkway roller.